let you know what they're dealing with. There's obviously a lot of obstacles, and mainly it's most likely the arbitration. But Fury also said that Wilder beats all the heavyweights. This is what he said on Behind the Gloves. He said Wilder knocks out AJ. He said, I put money on it. I don't even gamble, but I will put money on it. Wilder is too awkward. He's fast and too explosive, and he just hit too hard for AJ. He said, even if AJ beat me, he's not the number one best heavyweight fighter of this generation till he fights Wilder.
We know that whoever wins this fight becomes like the best of our era. So if you don't win, do you acknowledge Anthony Joshua as the best of our era?
No, because he hasn't beat anybody yet. To be the best of our era, Klitschko, he's beat him. He has to beat me, and he also has to beat Deontay Wilder. So
he's still in the equation.
Let me rephrase all that. When I win this fight, I am the best of this era, barring none. I beat everybody in it. Klitschko, Wilder, Joshua. The 3 top champions of my era, and I beat them all. But him, he's got to beat Wilder still to be able to say he's the best, because he's not. But he ain't going to beat me, and I don't think he beat Wilder either. I don't like Wilder. I don't like what he said or what he's done. But as a boxing fan and as a man, I just don't think he can beat Deontay Wilder. I don't think any of them can. Like I say, I've got no love for Wilder at all. I think he's a piece of shit. I think he's a big dosser. But I just don't think any of the other heavyweights can beat Deontay Wilder. There's only one man who can beat him, and that's me. I think he annihilates the rest of them. And that's truth. I'd put heavy money on it as well. I'd bet on him. I'm not a betting man, but I'd bet a lot of money on Wilder knocking them all out, apart from me.
He co-signing the fact that he views Wilder as the biggest threat. He already said it on more than one occasion. Fury said Wilder is the biggest threat. He said he even a more threat in a trilogy than AJ is.
I've already seen the most dangerous heavyweight out there, Deontay Wilder, get taken to school once and then brutally knocked out in the second fight. I always said, if I can get past Deontay Wilder, then it'd be a long time before there's anybody else who can come close. Wilder's always been the most dangerous opponent in the division for me. And the rest of those guys, I'm not too concerned about.
This is why Fury had to tamper with his gloves in order to fight Deontay Wilder, because Wilder have a cheat code. He hits you one time, you out of there. I always tell people, if you box, you're going to get hit. Just like if you swim, you're going to get wet. And Fury knew that. In the first fight, he got clapped one time and almost lost the fight. In the rematch, that's why he elevated the cheating tactics from the left glove to the right glove being completely tampered with. So, again, by Fury making them comments such as Wilder knocks out everybody in the heavyweight division, not named Tyson Fury, he letting you know how much of a threat Deontay Wilder is. So all these decafs that say Wilder don't have skills, Wilder don't have that, then how come the man that beat Wilder, Fury, believes Wilder will beat everybody that has no skill at all? It just further confirms that Fury tampered with his gloves to beat Deontay Wilder, because he doing everything it takes to get out of the trilogy. I mean, he paying millions to the lawyers. He could possibly pay millions of damages to Deontay Wilder, all to avoid the trilogy. When there's a rematch clause in place, he complaining about a layoff that he could have fought Deontay Wilder in the process and stayed active and made the $50 million in the process. But he wanted to fight Kabali, and Wilder blocked that with the mediation. But what's your take on Tyson Fury still believe to this day that the biggest threat is Deontay Wilder in the heavyweight division?
I mean, that's crazy to me, considering how Deontay Wilder is the biggest threat if you quote unquote got him out of there as easily as you did in that second fight. I mean, the way you did it, Deontay Wilder, you should have nothing. Like you still spouting out as if Deontay Wilder is the best. What is it? How is Deontay Wilder beat everybody there? And yet it's also a kind of a contradiction, because Tyson Fury himself said before he fought ever fought Deontay Wilder, he's like, if I ever were to lose to this guy, I'd be a bum. Those words, more or less his words. Like, if I were to lose to someone with his skills or something like that, I'd be a real bum. That's what he said. So I'm like, how does he go from that to you basically implying that he has no skills, but then he can knock out every fighter there is in the heavyweight division, including AJ. That doesn't sound right. Like, before you fight him, you say that. After your first fight, you keep that, but then after the second fight, you say something completely different. That's just that's a change of energy overnight.
Yeah, he also said, "I will never fight Deontay Wilder again." He told the mediator and the public, but all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, he said that he's willing to fight Wilder again for a trilogy. He's just letting you know maybe arbitration is really kicking his ass.
I've got a job in hand to deal with in Wilder. The thing that this is an exclusive one I'm about to give you, Gareth.
Okay, shh.
Nobody knows this exclusive, right? I was speaking to an old legendary bare knuckle fighter from the travelling community. He's called Big Joe Joyce, and he told me about dipping his hands in petrol.
Okay.
To toughen them up. So for this fight, I'll be dipping my hands in petrol for 5 minutes a day during the last 3-4 weeks of the training camp to really toughen them up.
And on the night?
And it worked for him, so I'm going to give it a try.
On the night, you just set fire to your hands, yeah? And you hit Wilder with flames, yeah?
Yeah! So yeah, we're gonna try that.
Amazing.
You need to be concerned because of where you're going in your career. Your manager should know about stuff like this and you really got to get I'm sorry to be a dick, but you got to get your manager on board with the entire thing. Because the entire camp, what kind of gloves he wears, this is your manager's job to protect you. Like, I'm supposed to protect you too, but what am I going to say to them? Hey guys, Tyson shouldn't have those gloves, it's unsafe. Barry, get the fuck out of camp.
Yeah, me too. I'll go home.
Yeah, but this...
I don't mind for 2 weeks. I've done enough. Yeah,
bro, not only these gloves beat up, you could I can tell. No, I can tell.
They pushed
that
it to the
they've
front.
been beating these gloves up on a wall or something. Look, you can see that from here.
I can't believe that. But I personally...
I'm shocked. This does shock me. It doesn't shock me.
Bro, I can't do
It
it.
shocks me.
No, but I don't think...
No, don't hear. You make...
This is Tyson's shit, and these are his sparring gloves that we've been sparring with. As you can see, there's no fucking padding in here, and all the padding's in the back of his fucking glove. Look at that shit. I could touch my other side of my finger with this shit, and there's shit falling out from the middle of the glove. Does he know who the fuck I am? He must not know, does he? Does he? What? Oh, he does not know. Look at this shit, man. And then, hold on, these are the sparring gloves they told me they got for me. These thick ass, look at, hold on, let's see, watch the squeeze. Going nowhere. Going nowhere. Watch this shit. Get the...
The Bible tells us that silence is golden. But my ears can still hear and my eyes can still see. The Bible also tells us to be swift to hear and slow to speak. You see, what you don't understand, thief, what you did is what my people deal with all the time. Someone cheating them from providing their greatness into the world. But it's a burden that we cut off only to make us stronger. I saw in the first fight where Ricky Haddon was pulling down your gloves to put your fist in an improper position. Y'all tried the same method the second time, but this time you scratched flesh out of my ears, which caused my ears to bleed. It's impossible for a brand new 10-ounce glove to bend, to keep a smushed in form, or to have loose space. I highly believe you put something hard in your glove, something the size and the shape of an egg weight. Here's the reason why the side of my face swelled up in an egg weight form. And it left a dent in my face as well. But in the midst of it all, you still couldn't keep this king down. You would have had to kill me. In the end, it took a crab in a bucket referee and a disloyal trainer to throw the towel in just to stop me. Proverbs, the 6th chapter 30, 31st says, excuses may be found from a thief, who steals because he is starving. But if he is caught, he will have to pay back 7 times what he stole, even if he had to sell everything in his house. And payback is coming.